My name is Brody Johnson. I fly airplanes for a living, civilian side and for the military. I started off flying for the military full-time back in 2012, and I fly the KC-135. It's a Stratotanker. It was built in the late 50s, early 60s, and it basically refuels other airplanes in the sky. And just recently, I started a full-time job with Southwest Airlines. I fly the Boeing 737, and I've been doing that for about a year. I wanted to join the Air Force ever since I was young. I had the desire, not necessarily to go into any specific branch of the service, whether it was Army, Air Force, Navy, but I knew I wanted to fly airplanes. And as I got older, I kind of realized that, hey, the Air Force, that's kind of what they do for a living. They fly airplanes, and really cool airplanes at that. And so as I went to college and was getting my degree, I joined an ROTC program, which kind of enlightened me and gave me a further pathway, further knowledge of the options that were out there for me. Eventually, I ended up joining the Air National Guard here in Phoenix, Arizona, and I was able to work as a maintainer. So I was a crew chief for about 4 years, and then after that, they picked me up to be a pilot. They interviewed me and thought I'd be a good candidate, and off to pilot training I went. So the most memorable experiences that I've had while being deployed are very few, but they do come to mind as you're out there protecting the freedoms. We do have to give up a lot of our freedoms when we go out there. We're unable to see our loved ones. We're unable to talk to our loved ones for extended periods of time. But we know that it's a sacrifice worth making that's going to help this country stay safe and stay free. The things that I love the most out there is being an aircraft commander on the KC-135. We're basically providing the means whereby the war can take place. So we provide the gas that either the bombers or the fighters need to keep other guys safe. One experience comes to mind as we were flying in Afghanistan. We'd been airborne for about 8 hours or so. So it's coming towards the end of our mission. They can be as short as 3 hours, and they can go as long as 11 or 12 hours. But we were about 8 hours into our mission. Some F-16 fighters called us up on the radio, and they said, hey, we're in the northern part of the country. We need fuel now. We were supporting some Army guys that were getting ambushed, and so the fighters, they just kept supporting them. And by supporting them, I mean they were dropping bombs on the bad guys, and they were doing that to keep the Taliban. They were keeping the Taliban from killing our Army soldiers on the ground. And those F-16s, they were running out of gas, and they called us on the radio and they said, we need gas now. And we were in the southern part of the country, and they were in the northern part, and so it's about a 30-minute drive or flight to get up there. It's a little ways. So we said, you got it. And we said, we're coming as fast as we can. And it was kind of a Hail Mary. It was they needed the gas, and if they weren't going to get the gas, they were probably not going to end up very well. We did end up giving them the gas that they needed, and they went back and they kept dropping bombs on the Taliban. They kept our soldiers safe. So where I'm at right now is a pretty good place. So the next step in my career is not necessarily an increase or an up or a promotion, but maybe a lateral sidestep. Here in about 7 or 8 years, I'll probably end up upgrading to captain, flying for the military. I'm already a captain right now. I'm an instructor pilot, and so the next step with that is just to make sure that I'm teaching the next generation of pilots that are coming through. So I got home from a deployment yesterday, and I was deployed with a brand new co-pilot straight out of training, and they sent him off with me to go to war. And so it was very fun, very interesting to be able to pass along that knowledge that I was able to acquire over the years as a pilot. Very fulfilling. So that's probably where I see myself going from here, is just teaching the next generation of pilots. Anything you think we need to redo or that I missed? Okay.
Oh, I think you did great.
Okay. All right.
All right.
It's a wrap.
Yep.